In the annals of ancient India, before the great war that would define an age, the kingdom of Hastinapura flourished on the banks of the holy river Ganga. It was a realm of prosperity, ruled by the noble Kuru dynasty. This is the story of its king Shantanu, a man whose heart was as vast as his kingdom, and how a single promise, born from love, would set in motion a chain of events that would echo through eternity. This is the beginning of the Mahabharata. Non-King Shantanu, a descendant of the great Bharata race, was a ruler beloved by his people. One day while hunting along the lush banks of the Ganga, his eyes fell upon a woman of breathtaking beauty. Her grace was otherworldly, her presence as serene and powerful as the river itself. She was the goddess Ganga, personified in human form, though Shantanu did not know it. Blinded by a love so immediate and profound, the king approached her. "O radiant one," he said, his voice filled with awe, "I am Shantanu, king of Hastinapura. My kingdom, my wealth, my very self I lay at your feet. Be my wife and be my queen." Ganga, pleased by his sincerity, smiled. "Great king," she replied, "I will be your wife, but on one condition." Her voice was as gentle as the flowing water, yet held an unyielding strength. "You must never, ever question my actions, no matter how strange or harsh they may seem. You must never ask who I am or why I do what I do. The moment you break this vow, I shall leave you forever." Known as Shantanu, utterly captivated, readily agreed. What could she possibly do that would ever make him question her? And so, they were married, and a period of serene happiness began. None in time, Ganga gave birth to a beautiful son and the palace rejoiced. But Shantanu's joy was horrifyingly short-lived. To his utter shock, Ganga took the newborn, walked with an unnerving calm to the river, and without a word, submerged the child in its waters, letting the current take him. Nnthe king stood frozen in horror, his heart shattered. 1,000 questions burned in his mind, but the memory of his solemn promise sealed his lips. Grieving but bound by his word, he remained silent. This gruesome pattern repeated. A second son was born and drowned, then a third, and a fourth. One by one, Ganga gave birth to 7 sons, and each time, she mercilessly took them to the river and ended their infant lives. With each loss, Shantanu's agony grew, a silent storm of grief and confusion raging within him. The kingdom whispered the court was in turmoil, but the king, a prisoner of his own vow, could do nothing. And finally Ganga gave birth to their 8th son. As she once again rose and began to walk toward the river, something inside Shantanu snapped. The father in him could no longer bear the silence of the king. "Nan, stop," he cried out, his voice choked with anguish, blocking her path. "How can you be so cruel? You are a mother, not a monster. Enough is enough. I will not let you kill this child." Ganga halted. The serene smile vanished from her face, replaced by a profound sadness. "O king," she said softly, "you have broken your promise. The time for me to leave has come." And then as Shantanu, finally demanding an explanation, listened as Ganga revealed her true divine identity and the celestial secret behind her horrific actions. She explained that their 8 sons were in fact the 8 divine vases, elemental gods from the celestial realm. And long ago, one of them, Prabhasa, persuaded his brothers to steal a sacred wish-granting cow from the great sage Vasishta to please his wife. Enraged by this theft, Vasishta cursed all 8 to be born as mortals on earth. When they begged for mercy, the sage softened the curse for 7 of them, allowing them to be freed from their mortal lives moments after birth. But Prabhasa, the instigator, was doomed to live a long and arduous life on earth. Nnthe Vasus had pleaded with Ganga to be their mother and to liberate them from the curse. By drowning them, she explained, "I was not killing our sons. I was freeing 7 gods from their mortal prison. This last child is Prabhasa. He is fated to live. I have fulfilled my duty to the Vasas, but now because you question me, I must go." With those words, Ganga disappeared, taking the 8th child with her. She promised to raise him and return him to Shantanu once his education was complete. King Shantanu was left alone on the riverbank, heartbroken by the loss of his love, but enlightened. He now had an heir, a son named Devavrata, who was destined for greatness, but who carried the weight of a celestial curse, a story for another time.